Hey guys, how are you doing today? I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Today I want to show how I get some spacey, beautifully ambient vocals. Huge shout out to Coleman Bryce. You might know him from Fractalize or his project 42 Words. Spoiler alert, he's been nice enough to do a track for me and Inlore Weaver. I'll make sure to link him in the description below with his project as well. Anyway, let's just get right into it. Psych! Do you want to join my Discord server? The link is in the description. Now we can get into it. So this is what I have so far. This is what they sound like with all the effects applied. Doesn't it make you want to cry? I swear you guys are not ready for this track to drop. It is so beautiful. So soloing out the vocals, let's just hear those on their own. And if we were to listen to them dry, so what did I do? Turning off everything except for mantra. This is quite literally just the analyze feature. That's what this does, or that's how it ended up being with the EQ curve here. I do have it on mixing, so it is going to be dynamic or not, but I essentially kept everything exactly the same. I just maybe pulled up the saturation a little bit, not too much, but everything pretty much default. The main reason I wanted to use this is the harmony section. I wanted to do that perfect fifth sound. So I have the main vocal being, of course, the main focus up here in the middle. On the sides going further out from the center, I have the same vocal being played at +5 semitones. And even further out to the side, I have -5 semitones. And starting from just what the plugin did by default just for me. Now it's dynamic. Moving to the harmony section, I'll now turn it on and you'll see exactly why I wanted to use it. It sounds nice. So it immediately gives it depth, it gives it layers, it sounds like a chord with his voice and it sounds sick. Then I have that going into Valhalla Shimmer. I have it on the concert hall preset. That is probably my favorite one out of all of them. And I brought back the mix knob to 0.64. Another thing that is very important when I use this plugin that I do every time is the low cut. It looks like right here I landed on 470, and this is a before and after. And after. And if I were to get rid of that low cut, it gets really muddy. So it's better to just keep that in mind when you're using a lot of reverb like this. Just make a low cut. Then I have a EQ. I didn't really necessarily do much EQ because one, mantra already did it, and two, with the reverb, these things were just getting way out of hand in some sections. So if I turn it on, sounds a lot cleaner as well, getting rid of a lot of this. And that kind of harshness up there. One thing I will mention, I just showed you that I dipped 2K. 2K is where a lot of your voice is actually going to resonate and be intelligible and sound good. However, I found that when I just drowned it in reverb, it just seemed to get a little bit too much. So that's why I also have it dynamic. And it being dynamic, you'll see that when I play it, it's only activating a lot when it's out of hand. So you'll see it's not always being cut. I mean, at least not a lot. You'll see that on the higher notes or the breathier notes, it is cutting quite a bit, but aside from that, it's just barely really ducking below where I already made a small cut. Then I have Virtual Mix Rack exclusively just for the FG2A, which is basically going to be your LA2A equivalent, just to give it some balance, just to give it some volume as well. I have a peak reduction quite high at 37%, and I have the gain turned up to 35, 100% on the mix knob, and I'll just turn it on as it's playing and you'll see what it's doing. So again, just balancing out the volume, making sure nothing's poking out. And as you can probably tell, that introduced a lot of sibilance. Sibilance, if you don't know, is basically just the S's, like s. You probably didn't hear that because of my processing, but it's going to drastically help everything feel better to your ears because you're not being blasted by harsh S sounds. And a good free one that I've found is the De-esser 2, and I like it because it's free. And you would expect this to work as any normal plugin where the more you turn up this knob, the more it's working. That's not how it works. So you'll see when I play it, you're going to see a meter around the circle, and basically you want to cut off that harsh line, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, I guess not, because my DAW is deciding not to show the GUI working. There is a line that will come up around this circle, and you'll notice that when there's an S being said, or that harsh sibilance, you'll see that it jumps up quite high. So you basically want to just make this line level with your normal vocals, and then just from there mess with the intensity, and if you have to, mess with the sharpness. And if you don't know what the sharpness does, essentially it's the bell curve of the EQ being applied. So more sharp would be like more surgical. The less sharp you have, it'll be more of a bell. Please do keep in mind that when you go extreme with some de-essing, it can introduce like intelligibility issues. It could sound like they have a lisp. It could make it just feel weak in general. So there is always going to be a balancing act. And for ambient spacey vocals like this, I find it doesn't matter quite as much because it's ambience and it's spacey. From there, I just have another FG2A. I just downloaded it for free when it was free, so that's why I'm using this one instead of the one I used before. This one does have a slightly different sound, I found. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. However, same concept. I'm doing the peak reduction quite high. It looks like it's just over 50%, and I am giving it a bit of volume just to compensate for that gain reduction. So without it, you'll hear that it's pretty level except for that really high note. So when I turn this on, you'll hear that it's much more balanced and in line with the rest of the volume of the track. Let's say you wanted spacey vocals that have really long reverb tails, but you still want the vocals to sound very up front. Well, I got you. So let's turn off Valhalla Shimmer, make a new track, and on that new track I'm going to put Shimmer, or any reverb of your choice really. Put the concert hall because that's what I like, mix at 100%. Make that low cut. You might even want to throw on another EQ just in case, and I like to use Track Spacer for this. And so I'll take the main vocal, sidechain it into Track Spacer, and you'll see even though no audio is playing, it is being sidechained to the actual main vocal, and that's going to be ducking the reverb. Okay, I fixed the audio because I routed it wrong, but basically how I fixed that was route the vocals to the track first and then route that into the sidechain for Track Spacer. That's how I fixed it. Anyway, you'll see that it's reverby all the way through, but it's ducking for the actual vocals. So when I pull in that when I pull in the original vocal, probably make the reverb louder. And just like that, you have an intelligible vocal with crazy reverb. So going back to my original processing, let's hear how that sounds all together one more time. Such a beautiful song. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. Bonus, if you've watched this far, here's a little leak for you. That's all I can show for now, I'm sorry. I promise it'll be worth the wait. When I listen to this song, I literally cry. It's just so beautiful. Anyway, if you liked the video this week, please let me know. Leave a like, subscribe if you want to, or don't. I'll just cry to this song. Again, if you want to join the Discord server, the link is in the description, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.